Hey, what's up, guys? We are back with another edition of the Zero Hour, getting ready for Chattanooga Fight Night. Tim Lloyd joined by Jeff Hobbs, Dylan McCarthy, and today we have also got one half of our first ever Aries flyweight title fight. Excited to strap somebody up with this one. It's been, now we've been at it over a year, still don't have a flyweight champion. So excited to have Mario Umana joining us today. Jeff, excited to chop this one up. We got a potential 5-rounder coming up this weekend in Chattanooga, taking on the always dangerous, vicious Vince Van Alstyne.
Yeah, absolutely. We got we would try to wrap up or wrap in a lot of information in a short amount of time because we have a lot to talk about as far as the fight's concerned. But we've got to dip in a little bit on what one of my favorite things with Mario Umana is the reason why and the cause, and some other things that'll be going down in the building at a vendor booth that's going to be there that is near and dear to his heart. And honestly, it is part of the fight talk too, because I think it has a lot to do with why he does what he does.
Mario, thanks for joining us, man. It's just now a couple days away from the weigh-ins, and so I'm assuming all the hard work's been put in at this point, and it's just getting that weight down as you get ready to go down to 125.
Working real hard, weight's going down since I want to say my freshman year in high school. So everything's going great. We're working hard. Because
I hear that a lot with fighters that will say, man, I haven't tried to be this light since I was early in high school. It's interesting to see, grown men, getting, having to go back to weights that they haven't seen in so long. But it sounds like the weight cut's going well for you. You don't look too worse for the wear so far.
Like I said, we're working hard. I'm dieting hard. Buc-ee's, brisket sandwiches, and pizza, but can't have any of that. We're dieting, macros, nutrients, all that to get down. And now it's about the water weight starting tomorrow, so close.
Dylan, were on the call for Mario's debut not too long ago. Without a doubt, I feel like Mario stole the show. It was like, when I think back to that event, that's Mario's fight was the moment that I remember that stuck with me more than any other that night. What you got for Mario?
Hey, Mario. Great to have a chance to talk to you here. Yeah, that was a really, really special showing there in your last appearance here in Chattanooga. Obviously, you electrified the crowd. And just getting a chance to talk to you, looking at you here, I got to tell you, it really feels like you and Vincent are kind of good foils of one another. Even his name, Vincent Van Alstyne, kind of sounds like a super villain, and you yourself, Super Mario Umana. Good-looking guy. I feel like you are kind of like a natural baby face, if you will. The guy that the crowd's going to want to cheer for. This time you're coming in, potentially 5 rounds. What are you doing to kind of keep it all in focus? Is it you don't want the moment to feel too big for you fighting for a title? How do you stay within yourself when you're getting all that crowd support?
Yeah. No, I'll tell you what. I wasn't such a crowd like that. I was expecting a crowd. I wasn't going to support. I know a lot of people, everyone, all that. Extremely supportive. Have a tight knit group. But with work and what happens, I have so many friends everywhere that want to come, and one of those moments where they all kind of came together, and that for a fact, and me on and it was nerve in the back. You see them, you're like, oh my God, you're hearing people. Now you're up next, and you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, that you're standing next to, probably, fuck, I'm about to get my ass whooped, but yeah, but here now, so.
That was not the case. You definitely handled business, man. I'll tell you what, remembering the ending sequence of that fight, that was a pretty little unorthodox kind of anaconda inverted darce that you hit there on Alex. And I was actually really surprised to see how effective you were with that technique. Vincent Van Alstyne, your opponent, somebody else who's very proficient, shows several submission victories on his record. Do you think that it's going to be those submission skills on display, or do you think that this might go into another theater, perhaps the striking realm?
I don't know. I have no idea where we're going. I just don't want to let it out, clearly. But Vincent's a great grappler. That happened with Alex was and the minute I felt his hand, face offs and the weigh-ins and get each other, and I have to look up and look like that's who I'm fighting. I don't know about this.
Oh yeah.
The minute he grabbed onto me, he felt like, dude, I'm about to go for a ride. Yeah. As expected, he flipped my pick his poison, and I know his jiu-jitsu grips as well. The more you do it, but heavy, his ground and pound, little things that I realized he didn't know that I can cap. And as soon as I slipped that head and got the arm triangle, all I can hear Warner going, hip bow. You see in video, kind of put two together and throw them locked in, baby. So.
Well, Jeff, I would say, Jeff, if you think about it, both these guys' last fight, in a way, very similar. Van Alstyne in a bad spot early against Bryce Warner, he persevered, got a submission, and then Alex D's record isn't great, but Alex is a good wrestler, and I recall seeing it. I know what you're saying, Mario, because I was like, man, Alex is a lot bigger, is like way bigger. And Alex made weight and everything. It wasn't like Miss Weight or anything. He's just a big old country wrestler. You were able to take advantage of his deficiencies there, but both of you guys use that BJJ as your way to overcome some adversity early. Jeff, I'll tag out to you.
Yeah. One thing definitely we have in common, Mario, is I also am trying to get to high school weight and fit in a size 32. I'm not there yet, but I have the same goals as you. But man, dude, I'm about. I'm not talking pounds with you, but I'll say I'm about 8 waist inches off of that goal right now. So by working on it, not really, not really. Again, I could talk like the other guys did, about your crowd, and it was awesome. Like Tim, it was a show that was, again, we're proud of our fights, and we were watching some good, interesting fights. But the moment we noticed a crowd was there was your fight. That's when we looked around and said, "Oh shit, there's people here," because they got loud when it was time to announce Mario Umana's name. Now it's crazy. We're sitting here doing this little podcast right now, and I'm talking to you, Mario, and I get a text message from Miss Giorgiani exactly right now while we're talking. So we got to talk a little bit in the cage about your why, and a lot of the reason why you do what you do was the passing of a close friend of yours, a colleague, Mitchell Giorgiani, and he was a police officer there in Smyrna, Georgia. And as soon as your fight was over, Miss Giorgiani reached out to Aries Fight Series and was very, very thankful, about the way we, brought him up in his name and honored him. And I know in the cage, you snuck over to me and kind of walked by. He goes, like, what are you doing? You're going to make me cry here. Because it was something we never really talked about, but Tim and I had heard the story and knew, and so we just kind of ad-libbed there. We had a sponsor for that fight, and we decided not to call the sponsor name, and decided that this fight was not sponsored by anybody. It was dedicated to somebody, and that was Mitchell. And one of the cool things that we've got going here, Tim, you know what? I don't even know if we've really talked in depth, but just to give, the viewers and listeners, again, Mitchell was a partner of Mario's in the Smyrna Police Department, and Mitchell passed away. But 2 days before Mitchell passed away, he sent a text to his mother. And the text simply said, "Mom, do you have any old blankets that I can have?" And she answered back, "For what?" And his reasoning was, "I want to collect as many old blankets as I can and put them in the trunk of my squad car because it's cold outside. And when I see homeless people in need and cold outside, I want to be able to give them a blanket." And so after his passing, his mother has saved that text. I've got a copy of it, to tear you up just to read it, knowing that what she's doing now is because of that one text. And their mission right now is to make sure that police officers all over have the same idea that Mitchell had, and that was carry blankets around in their car. And they've got a nonprofit called Got You Covered Blankets because they want to make sure everyone knows we got you covered. And so for every blanket that is sold, they donate one blanket to the police department for police officers to ride around with. And Miss Georgiani is going to be there absolutely in the crowd to support Mario, but we're going to have her put up a booth. I'm personally buying a blanket for sure because I want one, and I want to know that one is going to get put in a cop car for me, from my purchase. And so we're going to implore everyone in the crowd. We push sponsors all the time, and we try to get sponsors to go over, or fans to go over and buy products. Saturday night, I'm going to say our mission is to get people to buy blankets. Talk briefly again about what Mitchell and because that's a lot of your support group is Mitchell's family and a lot of his relatives. So what Mitchell meant to you and why your relationship with him is pushing you through this. But let's focus on these blankets, man, and what this cause means to you.
Yeah. So Mitchell was my coworker. He is my backup, and I was his backup of our calls. He was that guy that 5'5", and I've got strawberry, and then we show up on calls, and they don't take me seriously. And when things get a little shaky, massive dude, big arms, built immediately. He's my backup. I know whenever I'm gonna be okay. Any scary situation, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get through this together. And night after night, we work night shifts together. Where we would kick back, smoke cigars, and just talk with the stars out. And when work dies down a little bit, time to kind of recover from calls that you had. And he was one of those that mental health a lot. We knew he never showed signs that he had issues. Topic. It's something that is mental health, and a lot of people don't like that. He didn't want to and didn't show any signs. Topic, and he would be one of those. I wouldn't understand that, or maybe he'd have a question just to see if he can question, but he'd make it seem like it's somebody else's question. The blankets, man, he had probably, even though he was the toughest guy I knew, of anyone that I knew. Any call that we had that was cold at night, he'd go home heater that he doesn't use at his own house, pick it up, and that one heater just to make sure they stay warm at night. Like that, he was that soft-hearted. If someone's in the gas station clerk wanted to press charges and send, here's your freaking $2, to forget about this. He was that guy. He was extremely close with his family. One another, I knew his family like they were my own parents. We saw each other often, and because they're extremely supportive to push anything that I do, know that anything I do, I have their backing and whatever they do. And it's just one of those cool things where I mean, it was one of those things where I'm for him, and I told his family this is all. I was not expecting him to be brought up at all, especially back. Jeff walked up to me and he's like, Mitchell Georgiana and his family just called, and I'm like on the back, and then we get speaks about it one more time, and I'm like, oh, now this guy's right across the cage from me, and I'm over here thinking about trying not to cry. Yeah, it was exciting. One incident happened, and for those that don't know, he ended. There's those text messages which one was one with his mother was about to the homeless. We had a gift that anytime we can help someone, we could. That was his way of doing it, especially during that time. Now those blankets are it's for any situation of comfort. Someone passes away, maybe, and a family, here's a blanket for you. You guys, stick around together, hug together with they united. And I know this moment is tragic, but calm your nerves a little bit. And it's been turning into something bigger. It was something that we just want to do here within the department, growing and expanding to other departments. So it's been looking great, even better.
Well, like I said, I know I'm buying one. Talk to Tim. I think Aries is going to be the first person, and Tim's going to get one, and Aries is going to buy one because one, we know it's going to spawn another one getting donated, and then we're going to do a giveaway for the one Aries buys Saturday night. So we're going to do raffle tickets, and we're going to give one away, mainly because we know that by giving one away, it's going to put another one in a police car. So
thank you very much.
Very awesome. Yeah, absolutely, man. A very awesome story. And hell, I understand what you mean about Miss Georgiana because I feel like I'm friends with her now, speaking out. And it was so awesome. There was a golf tournament also supporting, and they one of the holes, Tim, is they gave away tickets to Chattanooga Fight Night as one of the prizes on one of the holes. So that was really cool. And Saturday night is going to be, obviously special for you because you got a title fight, my man. But we do hope it's special for the Georgiana family as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Mitchell. I'm sorry, Mario. I think we are going to be wrapping us up here. I'm going to let you give some shout outs where they're due. Any friends, family, training partners, sponsors you want to give some love to, let's do that. And let people know why they need to be in Chattanooga this Saturday night for this throwdown with Vincent Van Alstyne.
Absolutely. I'm in the Georgiana family. They're giant supporters and essentially almost as close as I know them at the family anywhere they go. They fit in anywhere they go. Besides that, clearly, my coach is Maverick Carrington. So, it's I know that for a fact. I know Vincent's a dog, not give up. So I know he's gonna be in the fight. I'm gonna be scared. I'm gonna be nervous. I'm not a tough guy, but I'm here for that. It's gonna be exciting. So.
This has been Mario Umana getting ready to go for the first ever Aries Flyweight Championship this Saturday, October 29th, Chattanooga Fight Night, East Ridge, Tennessee, Camp Jordan Arena. Get your tickets at fightertix.com. Make sure you select Mario from the drop-down menu. And then, of course, if you can't be there live, make sure you tune in. Spectation Sports. Mario, appreciate the time, my man. We'll see you in a couple short days in Chattanooga.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
See you, man.